She photographs very, very well.
She does.
Like, still photographs.
She looks exactly like she should, but still just looks like, I don't know, like an angry bowl of oatmeal to me. Like, I mean, I swear. Hey, welcome everyone to Drunkcast Live, episode 121.
Sure.
March 2015, 1/21/2015. This will be the year that it was March 14th, 2015.
Oh, this is Pi Day.
It's extra Pi Day because it's 31415 is actually part of it.
Yeah.
And, I got to thank God for the coincidence.
I think it for pie.
Well, pie in general.
I like pie.
The god of baking.
As long as there's no crust on top, that's an abomination.
You think that's goofy?
I think that's wrong.
I like chess pies. I think it's a...
Oh, the strips?
Yeah. No, okay, so you're okay with strips, but not the entire thing.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Travis.
Hi, I'm Dylan.
And we're a podcast called Drunkcast Live. We like to hang out and talk about things.
Pie crust,
Yeah,
apparently.
pie crust.
Yeah.
Whatever comes across our crust.
Whatever crust we come across.
Yes. Yeah. And we do it on a thing. We also do it on video. If you go to youtube.com/drunkcastlive, you can see the things that we're doing right now.
And we apologize for all of this.
Yes. For calling complexion, curse, whatever it is.
The Irish mistake.
Cheers to that. Yeah. Yeah, we like to talk topics and stuff. We've been doing this show for almost 3 years now.
Yeah, it'll be 3 years
in June.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We usually have another person with us, but everyone backed out on us.
Well,
what is that about?
You have to give them credit. They were here last week.
Yeah.
And when they weren't normally going to be here, and I was gone, so they showed up.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
The boys stepped up.
They stepped up in a pinch because me doing the show by myself would have been really funny, but not ha funny.
Like, hey, everybody.
Hey. Well, it would just be me rambling.
Actually, that means you would probably have 500,000 YouTube subscribers by Thursday.
Hey, everyone, I'm Travis. We're going to Drunkcast Live. We're going to play something.
Is it your Hardwick impersonation?
Yeah, well, yeah. It's a little mix. Hardwick and
Pardo. Yeah.
The Pardo comes out when you mix a Hardwick with like a PewDiePie, because that's their attitude. They're like, oh, radio DJ. Oh.
PewDiePie's supposed to be a radio DJ?
Well, like there's Markiplier as one of the guys.
Okay.
I kind of like Markiplier a little bit.
I don't know what that means.
That's why he probably sounds like me in normal voice.
But he talks like this.
But he's like, oh my god, everybody, we're going to play Five Nights at Freddy's. I've never played this game before, but I know it's really, really frightening. Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show.
Does it very well, and I see other people who do the Let's Play thing do the same thing. Yeah. Like I guess that's the way to get in.
I get called out on that when I do the training videos for work. So
sure.
I use more of an announcer thing.
Yeah.
I'm not drinking, really. That's the thing. I'm not drinking when I'm doing those. So, maybe I should try.
Just go NPR DJ. Who just blinked at me?
Welcome to Drunkcast.
Blinking? Don't blink at me.
Man, it's an interactive show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the laptop you're hearing. And at some point later on, we're going to go to questions that we receive via phone.
Did we actually get some?
No, but I'd like to shame the people who don't do it by calling 412-440-7468 or 412-440-SHOT. If you do that, then we'll play it on air, and then we will respond to whatever the hell you feel like. Or listen to a funny story. If you have a funny story.
I believe we accept dares also.
Ooh. I mean, legal dares that you can do in a bar. Remember, if you have been in a bar or pub, there's certain things you can't do.
There are some rules.
There's some things. Probably should say no naked. But
oh man,
well, not for anyone else. That's for us.
Oh, yeah. Well, again,
that's a hobby.
Again, YouTube viewers don't want to see any of this.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So consider that when you're calling us and telling us to take our clothes off.
Yeah.
You really don't want it.
Unless you just really, I don't know, if you have the hiccups.
There are much better sites out there on the internet if you want to see any of this.
Yes. Much better sites.
Which brings us to Fat Keenies.
Fat Keenies. Not drunk enough for that. So this is the part of the show where we just talk about what's been going on. Intro music here. There's not any intro music.
Garth Brooks playing is intro music.
Garth Brooks.
Yeah. It's actually Chris Gaines.
This is a really inappropriate song for our get to know each other thing.
Friends in Low Places? It could be okay for our
It's not the spirit of the song. It's just it really brings the mood down a little bit.
it's the fact
so.
there's only two of us at this table and there's
Yes.
nobody else here.
Yeah, we're not dancing.
Yeah. Yet.
Although this is a good
Unless
song.
if you called and asked us to dance, maybe we would.
Maybe we would.
Because that's something you could do at a bar.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And a great dance floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we get the cowboy hat guy to take us for a few laps.
Gene.
Yeah.
Gene is a Dunn's Depot legend here in Austin, Texas. Incredible. He's just got such huevos, you know.
He dances with everyone. He asks every woman.
He asks every woman he can,
no matter how old or young.
and he's polite about it. You know,
Yeah.
he just wants one. He just wants one
He
dance.
just wants to dance.
Not a problem, man.
Yeah. Good guy.
Yeah. He stopped asking me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once I started losing weight.
Ooh. Too soon.
Too soon.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I was in Vegas.
Yeah. You were in Vegas
I
last
was in
week.
Vegas,
Couldn't
yeah.
be here because you had to go drink it up somewhere.
Well, I was in Vegas for work, and for those who have gone to Vegas for work or for play, if you have ever experienced this, if you haven't, whatever. Yeah. 5 nights in Vegas is too many nights in Vegas.
Sure.
Yeah, it hurt. It hurt a lot.
Well, you were also up. I mean, okay. Explain to me exactly how it works there for you. You went for work, sure.
Yeah.
But you said that you also just had so much extra time, you just wind up staying up till 4.
Yeah.
And Vegas is it's developed to make people believe that they don't know what time it is.
No, that's intentional. Yeah. So I was staying at
By
the
design.
Aria, which is my favorite hotel in Vegas, and they are better than most about the environs.
Sure.
So yeah, you don't really know what time it is, but you don't feel the weight of it as much. Like MGM is a good example of you go inside and it feels heavy and late.
Yeah.
Even if it's 2:00 in the afternoon.
Sure,
Like,
sure.
it's so dark and so you feel the weight inside.
Mm-hmm.
Aria doesn't do that at all. They have a much better mix of. It's how they have everything laid out. Good lighting. It's nice. It's nicer in my opinion.
Sure.
Time slips by even more quickly there because you truly don't know if it's night or day, but in the good way.
Okay.
Not in
in
the
an invigorating
yeah,
way.
yeah, in a you're just having fun way.
Sure.
So Vegas, I had like 3 different events I had to go to, so that took up time. That was just part of it, and like part was a manager retreat, so we had to schedule some time for the dudes to hang out and
Sure.
talk shop for a couple hours.
Of course.
And
Of course.
of course, we do that while we're drinking heavily. So,
Right.
so for example, that was Friday. So Friday starts with breakfast around noon.
Yeah.
Because I've been up till like 4 in the morning before that. Because that's the day we got there. So so then we get together, we start drinking, and then we go to our reward dinner, and then we drink more, and then after that we go drink more, and I gamble a little bit, but not like terribly.
Okay.
The game I love most right now is it's video craps.
You like video craps.
So the way it works is
less pressure?
Yeah, it's easier to bet too.
Okay.
So they have like this contraption where they have like I think 8 seats around this. It's like an octagon thing.
Contraption.
And then a contraption, and then in the middle, they have these big giant fuzzy dice on like a little tumbler thing.
Okay.
So when it's time, it bounces the dice up and down, blah blah blah. You hit the button and it pops up and then lands on whatever the numbers
Oh,
are.
like a pop-o-matic bubble.
Yeah.
From Trouble.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you get a lot. You get like I think a minute or 30 seconds between each roll, so you get a lot of time to do your betting correctly. You can place bets on or off, which when you're playing the real game is all legal and allowed, but most of the time you're playing the big crap table, you have no idea what the hell's going on because you're just yelling and
Yeah.
So you actually can play the game, and you can bet small or bet big. You can actually play. I played for a couple days. I only lost like $200 out of. Which I won't say losing. I only spent $200. Let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
Because I was
Because you had a stipend for it, right?
that, and I have a theory about Vegas. And for those who have not heard it, when you land in Vegas, whatever money you have on you is already spent.
Yeah.
It's a matter of distribution from that point on.
Right.
So if you choose to spend it on drinks or food or strip clubs or gambling, the money's not coming back with you.
Yeah.
You're not going to win big. So just understand that. So if you go gamble a little bit, know your limit and say, hey, I want to spend $100. All right, well, that's all I had to spend. So,
Yeah.
And you walk away.
Which is very smart.
And it's fun.
It's a very responsible way of, very fiscally responsible way
and
of taking
so,
Vegas.
because of this video crap machine, you can sit down, you can put $100 in, and you can play slow, you can play fast, you can play aggressive, whatever you want to do. But because you have the option to pace yourself,
Yeah.
you can very easily spend 4 or 5 hours there. And they just keep bringing drinks and drinks and drinks, and the drinks cost $1 each because you have to tip the waitress. So you
Sure.
Well,
No, a buck each is a little low.
I'm not counting the money going into the gaming.
Oh no, sure.
You don't pay for you don't pay for drinks at all when you're gambling.
Well, so you haven't heard my theory that because I do penny slots. I prefer penny slots because I could do, especially a big slot machine where you can put in 10 cents at a time.
Yeah, and then you wait till they walk around. Then you max. Yeah.
When they come up, the first thing you do is you give them $10 for the first drink, and then they kind of rush to you. They want to make sure, and then you do $5, $5. $2, $10, and then $1, $1.
Okay.
If you're staying there long enough, and you always get a shot and Coke, for example, or the mixer that you want because they're going to cheat you on the mixing.
No, I've never had a problem with $1, $2 per drink.
Sure. But I like that too because if I feel like I'm going to do $1, then I'm already invested to leave because I've already spent so much, and I've made them happier than just staying around for a long time.
Gotcha.
And also because I'm doing pennies, I'm not actually expecting to win anything.
Yeah.
Can I say I don't know how regular craps works? I know how to play craps with other people. I know
it's actually a complicated game because there's so many different options you can bet on.
Like I don't know how you can bet on me unless it's just an over under. Like
you're betting on numbers basically.
Right.
So.
I mean, you're basically betting on someone else's roll, like it's like roulette.
You're betting on the numbers.
I mean, not direct on the number, but you're saying
it's absolutely irrelevant who is rolling the dice. You're betting on the same thing effectively, which is you either get this or all right. So the come out roll, the very first roll, you get a 7 or 11, you win. If you get a craps, 1.
Oh yeah,
3,
no,
12,
I know those
you
rules.
lose.
Yeah.
All right. So if your first roll is an 8, then you can bet on 8, and what you're betting on is that whoever's rolling will get 8 before they get 7 or 11.
Right.
Comes up before 7.
Yeah. Or snake eyes.
No, before 7 actually.
Oh, just before 7.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because 11 is a win every time, and 7 is a win the first time.
You're basically at that point you're trying to roll an 8. If you roll an 8, you win. If you roll anything, if you roll a 7, then you
lose. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, but there's also little side bets you can do, and it's actually it's a fun game.
Well, I've played craps with other people, and I've just played against other people where I'm rolling, and I'm just rolling until I win or lose.
You can also bet against the roll. You can already bet.
That was the confusing thing because I didn't play with anyone else actually saying, okay, well, I think he's going to do this well. It was just back and forth. But part of that rule is when you win, you can't back out. You have to keep going until you lose, but you have to figure out how much you're going to bet the next time. You can increment the bet after you win. And maybe that was just the rules made up by my cousins who were trying to get money from me. But suckers, I walked away with $20.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
Which was a lot of money when I was 13.
Yeah, but 5 days in Vegas. Basically just drinks and 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 drinks.
Well, welcome back to Austin, where we don't drink at all.
Oh no, this is breeze.
Mm-hmm. How's your lemonade?
Yeah.
Your Schweppes. Your Schweppervessen. Yeah. Well, while you were gone, obviously we had the show. What else happened? Adam got a house.
Oh, you actually got the house?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Bought a house. He's been painting it all week. That's the reason why he's not here. And let's see. Ben just wanted to stay at home with his puppies. Because at the last second, he kind of felt like maybe he shouldn't leave because he's got the most beautiful dog in the world. And his wife's all right, too. And, no, I love Melanie. And then Brain's out doing Diane's stuff. And then Josh Woodard was supposed to be in the show. He was a comedian, a friend of ours, who had just got... Everyone has just been tearing him up. Work and stuff and things and family and sickness and shit. Because he has kids. And if you have kids, most likely...
Your life is over.
Your life is over, yeah.
In a good way.
Well, the chance of illness also shoots, like, the skyrockets. Like, that's the biggest problem.
So we talked on the show a while back about the... I'm not going to go in the anti-vaxxer thing, but I'm going to talk about the measles thing that was tied to Disney World.
Yeah.
So one of the restaurants...
In Vegas, yeah.
Yeah, one of the restaurants in Vegas specifically had customers who got measles that was directly tied to the Disney World person.
It was
Disneyland person.
It was directly tied to it.
Yeah, it was complete. They had the complete, Kevin Bacon here.
Jesus.
So it was for those who in Vegas. It was Emerald's, Emerald. And in the MGM Grand. Now this happened in February. But they had it so much nailed that if you were eating there between like 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. at least one day, that's when they knew this one guy who had it could have infected your food.
So what was the connection with that one guy and the person from Disney?
I didn't catch all that, but they were able to say, no, this is 4 or 5 hops from here to this guy to your food.
And number of persons who interacted with him in any way or fashion.
Well, thankfully,
beautiful.
I guess for whatever reason, they were able to catch it. It was only he was only on duty for 3 hours. So they were able to say, you are sick, go home. And they figured something out was wrong.
Right.
So kudos to the kitchen staff at Emerald's for figuring something else was wrong. And then,
Typhoid Carlos.
And then getting Juan out of the kitchen, yeah.
Yeah.
Typhoid Tyrone.
Well, wow. See, that's fascinating. I'm just impressed that they were able to track it down. That's the most important part to me.
That's pretty neat.
Disgusting. And I think it is important to bring it up as an anti-vaxxer thing, but I understand maybe we can talk about that in the next segment because we're running out of time. Let's go ahead and take a break.
All right.
And we can come back after this.
Yay.
Break.
I'm not going to try to engage you in a conversation about manga.
Yeah, it's a good choice.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show.
Oh, wait, I'm not ready yet.
Oh, shit, I'm
Wait,
sorry.
Now,
Oh, my God.
now I'm ready. All right.
Now we're back to the show. Segment 2. Let me hit the time button
The
here.
double deuce.
The double deuce. Brought to you by Goo. Goo, it's magical and it cleans things and probably will eat your kitten or something. You gonna feel that?
Is it self-aware?
It doesn't feel self-aware yet. It's the softest lead I've ever touched.
Huh, yeah, that's weird.
The problem is it's got that weird wetness to it.
Yeah, but it's not wet, is it?
I don't know. I wash my hands after. If I could read Chinese, which is not racist, literally the entire package is Chinese. Which is crazy too, because this was the only one I could get on Amazon Prime. Like there was some people that make this thing nearby, or whatever. A really nondiscreet package too. It was all very strange. Like
But
this
for
thing,
the audience, this goo is a keyboard cleaner.
yeah,
right?
it is a gel. Gel is not even the right word. It's like gack. It's like a toy that you would have bought, like if you would go to 25, 50 cent capsule machine and you get a thing, like a green thing you can throw against the wall,
Except
for example.
it's not as sticky and more wet.
Yeah, it's more
But
wet.
it's also not wet.
It is lead.
Don't taunt Happy Fun Ball. That's all I'm going to say.
Exactly. Goo, the high-tech cleaning compound.
The high-tech cleaning cabinet.
It's a Goo. Let's take some shots.
Yeah.
So we got shots in front of us. And
Actually, I want to.
clickety,
This
clickety,
shot
click.
is for a wonderful bartender in Las Vegas. I'll tell you a story about it in a
Okay.
minute. To Brett.
Motherfucking Brett. I don't know.
So, woo!
Woo.
So it was Sunday afternoon, and that's off time. People are it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And Sunday is when people are either leaving because they've gone for the Friday, Saturday night thing, or they're flying in on Sundays to get the super discounts for Sunday, Monday night thing. So 3 o'clock in the afternoon Sunday, Vegas is pretty much dead. But I was there. that was day 4. I don't remember. Let's call it day 4.
Sure.
But we were there like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Me and my coworker, a really good friend of mine, we were just walking through this hotel, Mandalay Bay, and there's a Mandalay Bay has a sister hotel right next to it. It used to be called The Hotel. Now it's called Delano, named after Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Yeah.
And it's one of the few places in Vegas that does not have a casino in their hotel lobby. It's a separate thing.
Yeah.
For those who don't know Vegas, it's separate from Mandalay's casino. And there is it's a great little lounge area, great little cocktail bar and hotel, and it's separate. It's really nice and quiet.
But it's still connected to the casino.
Yeah,
and-
you
and-
walk
and-
right through,
In
yeah.
profit, though. I mean, like,
Oh,
because otherwise
yeah.
it seems like a really dangerous thing. It's like, oh, just throw a Motel 6 on the strip. We'll be all right. No slot machines. People come here for slot machines?
I guess effectively it was built as Mandalay Bay is a big freaking hotel.
Yeah.
They built this as an add-on, as a kind of a luxury add-on. So sure,
Yeah.
they have their suites, they have their thing. This is built as a separate. If you want really nice stuff, the exclusive, cool stuff,
Right.
we have this over here. So it is still part of it. Like if you check in like at Mandalay Bay, you can end up at either hotel, that kind of thing. It's all connected. But it is separate as far as the experience.
Yeah.
So anyway, they have this great little cocktail bar. This place only opened up, it was remodeled and reopened like last September. So the great cocktail bar, it's called the Franklin, after Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Yeah, sure.
They don't really stretch the name thing.
Yeah,
too
I'm hearing
far.
a theme. Yeah.
But we're there. Is slow afternoon, and this bartender named Brett was just bored, I
Sure.
guess.
Sure.
It wasn't exclusive to me and my coworker because they had hundreds of these small little sampler glasses. So they were just letting us sample everything. but we were like the only 2 out of 7 or 8 people in the entire lobby, counting employees, and we're only people drinking. So Brett just said, "Hey, I want to give you guys everything."
Yeah, sure.
And so he just kept coming and coming and coming, like even to the point where we're
Really, like the samples are like a finger deep.
not even. It's
okay.
It's
a little sips of here.
Yeah, it's a sip.
Okay.
Like the glasses themselves were
Like a good heavy thimble. Like
yeah,
a spilling thimble.
Yeah, the glasses themselves were maybe an inch and a half tall, and he would just put like a drop, enough for like 2 people to kind of taste a good sample. It.
Okay, sure.
You can put it in your mouth and kind of switch it around and go, oh, okay, I can taste that.
Yeah.
Not a full sip, but a nice taste.
Yeah.
Enough for 2, anyway. Good thing she doesn't have cooties, and I don't have cooties because we were sharing stuff. So.
Sure. Yeah. Could have brought some measles around.
Yes.
Good thing you got your goddamn vaccinations for
It's
cooties.
a good thing we didn't go to Everill's and the MGM Grand.
Yeah.
Hey, burn. Sorry, you're burnt. You banned, I think is being more.
Yeah, that's the bam. Extra spice.
So Brett, the bartender, great guy. He kept bringing us more and more. Like we were saying, no. He's like, no, you're gonna try this, Mike. All right.
Okay. Twist my leg.
Man, we had 4 different vodkas, including one that was freaking delicious. The other 3 I didn't really care for, which is a surprise. And actually, that was part of the magic.
How many eyes were in delicious? This is very important.
Well, it was Russian, so it was. I think it's backwards K.
Oh, that's 3 eyes. And
Yeah.
That's
Cyrillic. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Sure.
But one of the things that they specialize in is small batch, really weird boutique-y liquors.
Yeah.
So apparently, like
infused stuff too, right?
that was their house stuff. But I'll get to that in a second.
okay.
Yeah. So they specialize in. So they had some Pappy Van Winkle, which I was so upset I did not go back and go get. Because we were going to leave like. Pappy, like, I don't.
Pappy,
I don't even want to know how much it cost. I'm just gonna I'm gonna tell my company it was a business expense. We were talking to shop and charge it, and let's do this.
The Van Winkle Corporation was interested in having a conference next year.
Yeah. Vandalay Industries.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sad you didn't try the Pappy, man.
Yeah, but
when that comes back around, I'm definitely gonna shout out to you because I think you'll really enjoy it.
Oh, I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
So they specialize. Brett was telling me that the only way that a lot of the alcohol gets into this bar is they have to kind of petition this bar. They go, wait, we have this.
Okay.
So they have to.
This bar is important enough for them to petition, or
That's just kind of
misunderstood.
They just kind of created that craft cocktail experience.
Okay.
So they don't. They have 1 or 2 of the usuals. They have your Stoli or whatever, but. That's not what their thing was. Their thing was obscure and weird small batch stuff.
Like Bud Ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With lime. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Lime burrito. Yeah.
Fucking innovators.
Yeah.
Knocking down my door with Bud Ice.
But yeah, so the 2 of the vodkas I had, one was a potato, one was a wheat, actually, which I did not like, but it was interesting.
A wheat vodka?
Wheat vodka. Yeah, it was interesting. But they were small, handcrafted, so they were just very unique tasting. It was interesting.
Have you ever had sake? Sake?
I have not had sake.
Okay. Continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that was the vodka. We had like 4 or 5 of those. 4, I think. And then the brown stuff came out. And normally I don't do the brown stuff. I had to say no to a few of them because I just couldn't. It was too much brown.
Sure.
But there were about 9 or 10.
Nothing to unpack there at all.
I think there were about 9 or 10 different bourbons, and he was really pushing the bourbon, which I'm not. Scotch, I can do Scotch, but he was pushing bourbons, and bourbons they can be a lot more complex as far as what they might taste like, the range of bourbon.
Yeah.
And I can't handle that with my
a lot of bourbons
liquor,
too need a little splash of water
to open them up a little bit.
Yeah,
Some scotches like that too.
Yeah.
And again, these were all kind of
so
craft.
having a thimble size would probably take away from the actual
That's
experience.
That's very likely, actually. I may have not had the full experience because
inadvertently
it wasn't
you saved
up,
yourself a lot of disappointment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Or a lot of money.
Well, sure.
But some of them were really interesting, but they were different. Then he brought some tequila, and we're like, no, don't bring us shots of tequila.
Oh
Come
my
on.
God, no! High-end tequila. I want to try high-end tequila. I hear it's fucking amazing.
Oh, I have tried. Now I have tried it, and I never really understood this.
Yeah.
There are tequilas you can sip straight, and I've had a couple of them, and they're really
incredible.
Damn good.
Yeah.
The 2 that I liked the most that we tried was Milagro. Yeah, Milagro.
Sure. Yeah. Beautiful bottles.
Yeah, and they had 2 varieties. I'm going to get the names wrong. The Añejo and the Resposito. Carlo Esposito, I think.
Yes, Carlos Esposito. Yes, yeah.
I know 20-something years in Texas, I still don't know my Spanglish. Yeah. Shame on me, sir. Shame on me. I can say trash. Yeah. Sí. Basura.
No basura.
Anyway, but Milagro, man. I guess I can't. I don't know tequilas. I know I'm getting the words wrong, but I guess the añejo is the one that's aged like a full year. Then the other one is like aged 6 months. The one that's aged 6 months, I think, tasted better than the one that was aged for a year.
Yeah, sure.
And it, no joke, it tasted like a margarita, just straight out of the bottle.
Oh, cool. Okay.
It was
just smooth.
It was just as smooth. It actually did taste like a margarita. It was just delicious.
What is it about tequila for you that's so disgusting? I can't figure it out palate wise. Because I know it reminds me of bad ideas.
I think it's mostly the number of times I've thrown up afterwards.
Yeah.
Well,
but it's not like Febreze smelling like cat shit because I used it for the kitty litter box. But it's like specifically tequila has this flavor. It's like it almost tastes like a
Band-Aids.
like an angry. No, that's certain scotches.
Yes, I think with Pete.
Yeah, peaty, Pete and Petey, and there's something about tequilas. Like there's the really low end tequilas just have that flavor of. Like you just got socked in the nuts with a warm smile that puked on you. Like I can't. Like it hits the back of your throat, and you're like, oh shit. Like even Brian wouldn't touch tequila. You know?
Wow.
Brian is my alter ego, ladies and gentlemen. When I go to get blackout drunk, I turn into a nicer person.
Yeah, tequila definitely is just bad tequila is really bad.
Yeah.
Like bad vodka. It burns. It sucks.
Yeah.
Bad bourbon, really okay.
Yeah.
But bad tequila is a whole other animal. I'm with you on that one, and I can't do it.
It's crazy.
But there is there's just a smell. There's just a something.
Yes. Well, and that's the thing too. Is like anything you consume that by itself is bad. Like you to do bad tequila, to do a regular tequila shot, especially in Texas, you have to dress it. Like you have to
bury it.
You have to confuse your face with some of the most obnoxious flavors. Like,
yes,
good flavors. I like lime. I like salt.
You have to pour a bottle of salt on your tongue.
Yes,
survive.
To survive. Yeah, it's like trying to walk out. Like it's like living in Chicago in the winter. Like you have to put on your Under Armour. Like the salt is the Under Armour for this bitter, terrible thing you're about to do to yourself because you have to go to work. And then the lime is like, it'll be okay. This is your only one, right? And the salt's like, nope. Fucking gross. But I'm glad you got a chance to try it because I don't know the good tequilas.
I was thoroughly impressed. I mean, I had never had a good sipping tequila. I didn't know such a thing really exists. I thought it was a myth. You know.
Yeah.
I thought because people talk about Patron is great. Patron is not great.
No, Patron is just expensive. It's just like Cristal. Cristal is not necessarily it's only priced because it lives next to the $1 million house. You know?
Yeah. But if for those of you who love tequila, please try Milagro.
Yeah,
it is. I was taken aback.
My mom's still fiance, or they're married now. I can't remember. But Cactus Jack.
Yeah.
We talked about Cactus Jack on the show before. He's a really interesting guy.
He like built his own bar.
He built a bar.
Right?
Yeah. So my mom moved out to the place where her mom lived, and they built a house out there, and he built an outdoor bar, and it's fucking awesome. And he's got like a really great smoking or like a barbecue smoking area, whatever. Like everything's just fucking cool. But he likes to collect tequila bottles.
Oh yeah, he bought the AK-47 thing.
Yeah. This most recent one was a little AK-47 that said it came with a stand, but
he only got the little one. He didn't get the big one.
I didn't have the big one. No, we only had the little one when we were looking.
The fact that they exist in two different sizes and it's just for the novelty of having an AK-47 made of glass.
Well, and there's something about things in glass I want to get to in a second, but the. So every Christmas, every birthday, we buy him a new bottle of tequila. So the reason why we went with a really crazy one is we already bought him really nice things. Like we bought him a bottle of Milagro, Cazadores, some other like higher end stuff or middling, whatever, like good things. And we're looking at the selection. We're like, "Fuck! Why would we buy him now?" Like we didn't know what to do.
Get the AK-47.
It was like I knew for a fact we did not buy him tequila made of gun. So let's do this.
Gun oil probably tastes better than that tequila too.
Probably
easier to shoot.
Well, and it reminded me. And the reason why I bring this up is not to take too far away, but like my grandparents, and I don't know if you knew people in your family that did this, collected cologne bottles. Perfume bottles.
Yeah. Well, they were
came in
fancy
like
back in the day. Yeah.
Well, not even just fancy one. There are race cars
Oh no,
And, like,
no, my parents.
I'm not talking about
collected-
collecting
yeah.
cologne. I mean the bottles themselves. Like they'd be.
No, yeah, no. Yeah.
You open it up and it smells like gasoline. You close it back up and say, "Well, back on the shelf. We're not using this shit."
No, my great grandmother had a small collection of perfume bottles, but they were really nice. Mostly made of lead.
Like the squeezy ones.
Yeah,
right?
she had some of those too. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, really, it was lead glass. It was like each glass maybe held an ounce of perfume. They weighed like 400 pounds.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they were made like in the 20s or something. So.
Yeah. Like glass is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, just so like buying this little gun is like it looked like it was cologne. It's like I never want to, I never want to see this thing opened. You know, like
That could be the Axe body spray of tequila. Right?
yes,
It's like the ultimate bro experience. Like you gotta axe up,
Yeah.
and you gotta literally shoot
yeah,
some tequila. Yeah, yeah. Full bro.
So what was the
Full bro jacket?
What was your
No.
absolute favorite thing of the things you tried? I asked about the sake because I was curious if the sake experience you've ever had was similar to the wheat vodka, because it seems like it would be, but if you don't know it, then there's,
I
there's no
had
way to
sake
compare it.
once, and I really didn't care for it.
No, sure.
But it was probably because it was like at Benihana, so that's not really real sake.
Most expensive bottle of wine we have, $12.
Yeah. The two best things to try. They also had two bourbons that they made in house. They infused in house. Let me rephrase that.
Right.
I can't remember what they made them with, but they had two specialties. One's on their drink menu. One's just kind of a hey, this thing we concocted. One was like kept in a small little oak cask, like a little tabletop cask, and you like tap the cask to fill up the thing. It had we've talked in the show about the breakfast shot that Andrew, your girlfriend, makes at Jackalope, which has a very distinct breakfasty taste.
Yeah, because
So-
of the mixture of things.
Yeah, so this thing I tried was heavily coffee influenced.
yeah.
So it had the coffee, it had heavy coffee flavor,
Mm-hmm.
but it had the mapliness of a really smooth bourbon.
Yeah.
So it was for me a excellent little breakfast in my mouth party, and it was delicious.
Ah, man.
It was like a meal and a drink at the same time. And
Should've-
that was my favorite. That and actually the Milagro. Actually, that was surprisingly.
I realized that we probably should have had you try not Gold Fist. I have to figure out what it is, and I'll
It's a
talk about
Bond
the other
movie,
beer. But
right?
there was Austin Beer Works had a beer recently that was incredible.
Huh.
It was a coffee porter, but it was a coffee porter that actually tasted more on the coffee side than the beer side.
Interesting.
And it was stout and strong and pain like wolf, you know. And
I would have liked to have tried.
but
that.
it's gone now. It was a
Oh,
seasonal
well.
thing, so maybe next year.
Damn it.
We need to take another break, and so I'm going to wave goodbye to the camera, and we'll come back after this.
Break.
That's just a little tidbit, you know?
Hey, well.
The rich tapestry of my life. Hey, welcome back to the show, everybody.
Yeah.
That's to all of you out there, to me, and to everything. Segment
Yep.
3, the fighting 3.
The fighting three.
Did not set the timer.
Sorry.
So this is the time where we talk about topics.
Yeah.
And a little intro music there, probably,
I don't know.
someday.
Okay.
Who knows?
Sure.
Last week, we really didn't wind up talking about a lot of things that happened over the week.
Yeah, I missed it, so I'm not sure what you guys did. So.
We just kind of like played around. We had
Okay.
had a good time. We played patty cake.
Patty cake, yeah.
which
Spin
was
bottle.
super hot. Yeah, spin the bottle, of course.
Yeah. Banjo always
All
wins.
plays
now.
very, very well on audio.
Yeah, Banjo always wins that game.
Yeah, I mean, I rig it, you know. The question here, especially now that it's going to be the two of us, if we want to go up or we want to go down. We want to have a good time or do we want to talk about the serious stuff? Like, do we want to bring up the Fat Keeney, or do we want to see how many jokes about Han Solo, or how many jokes, which is too soon, Harrison Ford crash. I know that he's in better than stable condition.
Oh no, apparently he's fine. He's had a really nasty gash like on his head, and he's
There's two jokes, two jokes. The "get off of my plane" joke,
yeah.
and then
That was the first one I saw like hours after it
the
happened.
Indiana Jones thing where he's like, "Fly yes, land no."
No, yeah. Well,
Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford himself, crashing into California. It was a California golf course.
yeah, Santa Monica. Yeah.
How many other people were in the thing with him?
Nobody was in the plane. He was flying solo. He was flying Han solo. Yeah.
Oh,
It was a World War II fighter.
beautiful plane.
Like 1942, something like that.
Actually, when I saw the picture, oh wow, we're gonna listen to it.
Hey everybody!
When I saw the picture, I was actually surprised by it because it looked like it was maybe a model for an old plane show that was happening at a park or something.
No, it was an actual old plane.
Yeah.
From like 42, I think is what it was.
Well, the original news that I heard when I first heard of this, when I heard about this,
Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
was there were 2 or 3 other people on the plane with him, and they
Nope.
all died except for him.
No.
That was the most important part.
He was flying by himself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe he killed those people and ate them,
Oh.
and their dental records.
On the way down
Sure.
from
Well,
50 feet.
yeah. Well, I mean, being frightened can take a lot out of you, and you get hungry.
Well, I know it was one of those open cockpit 2-seater planes, so maybe, just like in the movies, he put a snake in the back seat to freak out his passenger.
They jumped out.
Yeah.
And landed somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm happy he existed. Well, I'm happy he's okay.
Yeah, apparently, I haven't heard the audio transcript, but apparently it's out there somewhere because FCC records all that stuff. But basically, he took off in within 3 seconds, no, I need to turn around right now and land. My plane's fucking dying. And it did. The engine died. And
Yeah.
the link I shared earlier today had a map showing where the golf course was in proximity to the airport, and he missed the airport by about 800 feet because his plane just couldn't go any farther.
Wow.
But apparently he saved a lot of people's. Well, Santa Monica Airport is what they're talking about. Santa Monica Airport is an airport that is, if you're in California, you might already know about this, hated by everyone who's not upper 1%er.
Sure.
Because they put an airport in the middle of Santa Monica.
I mean, it literally is just shoved right in the middle of everything. Yeah.
So the people who live there hate it unless unless they have their own airplanes like Harrison Ford and live right nearby.
Yeah.
But apparently because of his skill, he was able to. He couldn't quite make the airport, but he hit the golf course because he knew everything else around it. Really, the map. If you're at home, look it up. Surrounding all of this is within feet, 20, 30 feet of the airport, is houses. Yeah.
Tons of houses. And then the golf course, the Pinmar golf course. He crashed near the 8th hole.
Yep.
And there were 2 spinal surgeons who were playing the 8th hole at the time of the crash.
And they pulled him out. Yeah.
Conspiracy. That's why I thank God for coincidence.
He called ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the 9th hole.
He's bleeding from the big gash in his head out of the plane. So, again, the original thing I heard when people were freaking out about this was Harrison Ford was in a plane with multiple people. Everyone died except for him, which was really just to tout him as a god among men, I guess, or whatever.
He is Harrison Ford.
He is Harrison Ford.
He's both Indiana Jones and Han Solo.
Yes.
I'll do another round. Circle.
Yeah, I'll do a circle too, please. Thanks, Sam.
Because circle gets the square. I learned that once on TV.
What show?
I'm not sure.
You don't remember what show? I mean, you've been watching TV since the beginning of television. So
before.
Yeah. You were watching TV before TV was okay. I'm not talkies. I'm not talking about talkies.
I was part of the focus group with the first television.
Oh, okay.
Does the refresh rate hurt your eyes? Do we need to tweak that?
I love I love the concept of the bit because we assume that they gave a shit that the first television actually would hurt anyone's eyes. And they're like, "Would you spend $7,000 on the one show that's over 2 hours?"
The one weird show.
Yeah, the one weird show. Was it Ed Sullivan at that time?
He came shortly after. We should look that up sometime.
Yeah.
The history of television, Ed Sullivan, obviously beyond us, but our parents went apeshit for it.
Yeah.
But in my rough history of television, his show came on only a few years after TV began as a modern entity.
Right.
Which is insane when you think about it.
Yeah.
That he went from 0 to, and they lasted 10, 15 years.
For fucking ever, yeah.
And but that's another story.
That's the reason why the talk show, the product will always work.
Well, yeah, Jack Parr was the first Tonight Show host, and he started in early or mid 50s.
Yeah. I don't think about Parr ever.
Well, he was the first.
Of course. Well, yeah. I mean,
No, was it him or Steve Allen was the first? One or the other.
Steve Allen?
Yeah. Very funny dude. Can't remember who had it first. One or the other. Listeners at home, if you would call us.
Yeah. On the call us outline. If you heard something you don't like, well, fuck you.
Yeah.
412-440-7468. Let's see. So, okay. So we're still staying shit.
Yeah.
No one heard that. So anyway. I don't know. We were looking at the podcast awards recently.
Yeah.
We're looking at the nominees of podcast
we didn't
awards.
get nominated this year, unfortunately.
Which, I understand.
That's fine.
There's only so much room. And, we're such good friends with the people on that board. It would really look weird. Like a,
yeah.
you know,
we're in too deep.
We're in too deep, and they love our show. They're calling all the time, and I can't use it because it's mostly just about how sexy your voice is, Dylan. You know, so
no, it's mostly.
I'll leave it out. So, so it makes sense, but it's really frustrating, as Dylan pointed out, that there are 2 shows under the entertainment, both for The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Why? Are we going to get to a point where there's going to be 5 Walking Dead podcasts all vying for the best entertainment?
Yeah, we've touched on this a couple of times over the past couple of weeks or months or whatever. The unfortunate trend in the after show.
Yeah.
The Talking Dead, of course, the Hardwick thing is in my mind, unfortunately, best example of that. Also, in my mind, the worst example of all that because it's just terrible.
Yeah.
Well, no, it could be better, but the idea that it's become decent ratings thing and it's okay because people like the show, so they want to talk more about it. I get it.
Sure. Yeah.
But the idea that you don't have to actually produce your own content, you just talk about someone else's content.
Yeah.
And that somehow has 2 different podcasts getting nominated for podcast awards for not talking about anything, no original material.
Right. And so I make a pithy joke about, or I don't know if it's a joke, pithy comment about the fact that why they just have a Walking Dead category. And so I believe if that's even possible, then we should at least be nominated for the Sharknado category podcast because we are the unofficial podcast.
I think we report on Sharknado more than anyone else does.
More than anyone else really cares to, which is unfortunate because it's important to our culture.
Well,
it is white culture as far as I care.
So in Sharknado news,
yes. So Sharknado. Sharknado has been very important to us, and we got Pope Tim is our shark.
Our shark.
He was featured in Sharknado 2.
That's right. He was at the end credits. No, it was
he
was at the end.
He was killed with a pitchfork.
That's right. Yeah, It was like toward the end. He was a hammerhead.
Yeah. And it was awesome.
Yeah.
And we're very happy for it.
Yeah.
And to give back. If you're not familiar with the Sharknado thing, or if you've really never seen any of the movies, do yourself a favor and just watch them because they're excellent bad movies. The first one tried to kind of be anything on sci-fi or sci-fi.
It tried to be a little monster, the whatever.
Yeah, Monster Inc. versus Dr. Com or whatever, like any kind of stupid thing.
But the sequel knew what they were doing.
Oh yeah, and they did it right.
And they hammed it up.
It is.
And it's
beautiful, yeah. It is it is a perfect specimen of a really bad good movie.
Yeah.
And the key to it really is just having these weird, stupid cameos.
Yeah.
The Hoff shows up in the second one.
No, apparently this is the third one.
He's going to be in the third one, but he does show up in the second one.
Was he there? I don't remember.
It was a small little area where it was like, maybe I'm thinking of the second Piranha 3D.
Yeah, no,
okay.
He was in front of 3 double D or triple D.
Yeah, triple D. Yeah,
he played the lifeguard.
He played the lifeguard
at the
who ran in
pool.
slow motion and jumped over the fat guy to get the girl. Yeah, which was funny.
Also a great cameo. But actually, in that vein is what they're doing. But
they're grabbing everyone they can. So like last time it was the guy
Mark McGrath,
the guy who will never be on the show ever.
Oh, Andy Dick.
Andy Dick was a cop for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, Sugar Ray was a lead.
Sugar Ray was a lead. He was the brother of the main character Finn.
Yeah.
Finn, whose special power is he's a surfer and he knows when waves come, so he can drive past them very quickly. Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah. So Tara Reid is also one of the mains.
Yeah.
In the second movie, the beginning of it, she loses a hand to a flying shark because again, if you've never seen this product,
it's replaced by a jigsaw that has to be plugged in.
Yeah. Oh, it's
like
just
a circular saw.
It's beautiful.
Right? No, it's circular saw, not jigsaw.
So we got Bo Derek coming in to be Tara Reid's mom, and Mark Cuban, who is a fantastic actor in his own right.
Well, he is on that show called Shark Tank.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Oh no, I'm sure it's going to be
good crossover.
If only these sharks were in a tank, or something like. I'm not going to buy into this. I'm out, and he walks away.
I would invest in that, but I can't.
Yeah. Ugh.
He's going to be the president of the United States.
Yeah, he's going to be president. Jerry Springer is going to come in.
As a what was it? Nut job tourist,
a tourist.
In quotes.
Yeah,
it was nut job tourist.
Sure.
That was what the article said.
The article's great. Bo Derek will be Tara Reid's mom because sometimes apples fall far.
Question mark.
But it's fun to see what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
But tragedy struck.
Just 6 days ago. Yeah.
The production because of a strike.
Yeah. Apparently, if you're on the Twitters, you can go to #StrikeNado to follow Yes, this is true.
Oh, man.
Sorry, for those who are listening, the look on Travis's face was, really? That's a word? Yes, it is. Strike-nado.
So earlier today, I wake up and I'm making breakfast for Andrea because she's going to work and she's been stressed out for the last couple of weeks getting ready for South by. Making breakfast, and I just go to Netflix and I put on a movie. And I picked the movie called the Babes, Booze, and... No. Girls, Guns, and Gambling.
Oh, that's a great, weird, fucking fucked up, awesome movie.
Is it a good movie?
It's the most... Well, go back to your story and we'll cover that later.
My point is, like, so I turn it on and I'm kind of listening, and I can't remember the name of the guy. The
Christian Slater's
Christian
in
Slater.
it.
It's Christian Slater. I'm listening to the thing, and I look over, and there's like a cartoon, and the cartoon's got like 3 frames, and it feels like it's trying to be a Snatch kind of movie, and everything about it is just missing the mark. And I thought, did they just think like, good enough? Like, hey, we've been working on this for 2 weeks. Let's go home. Like, people are going to get it, or they won't,
Well, Dane Cook's in that, so that helps you.
That's the only reason I watched it. I saw Dane Cook as part of one of the main characters.
He's one of the
like,
cops, yeah.
Well, actually, and Gary Oldman.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. That's a whole...
Yeah, it's a different thing.
That movie is a gem, if you ask me.
When I say Strike-nado...
Yeah, Strike-nado.
When I think of all the things in the world you can pick... Just like it's so on the nose, like it's like
they had
it's,
to.
It's good enough.
They had to.
They hashed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You burnt.
Why was the strike? Well, what caused the strike exactly?
Apparently I'm going to get the acronym wrong. It's like the IPAC or something. It's the
ITASE or
ITAS, the International Association of Theater and Stage Workers or something.
Yeah.
Basically, it's some level of grips and like stage production hands.
Right. Okay. So it's true production, not the actors, obviously, because we saw a picture of Hoff driving through the line.
And apparently, whatever they do for movies, because they're mostly theater, I guess, but they're also in movies. I guess it is like stage building and stage hands, stage work. So building the backdrops or whatever.
Your gaffs, your boomers, your grips.
I think more of the
Hard
actual
boy grips.
stage building, I think, is what they're looking at.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Like, here's the backdrop and here's the facade for this room and all that
Okay.
stuff. I think that's what I got. I actually looked them up and I couldn't quite tell what they did. So
Canadian Writers Guild.
go Union.
Sure.
They're actually Canadian and American.
And Coulter is going to be in it as well.
Oh, that's right. But because they're on strike, the editors, who were part of the MPEG, the Motion Picture Editors Guild,
Right.
Not to be confused with the video file type.
Right.
Coincidence? I don't know.
Chris Gaines is not available for comment.
But apparently, because whatever ITASE or whatever they're doing is halting the editor's ability to actually edit footage.
Yes.
So I guess maybe it's second unit stuff. It's whatever.
Okay.
It's just that weird thing that the editors can't do it because it's also holding. Well, here's my favorite part of this. All right, I know I'm sputtering the story, but let me hear my punchline. My punchline is it's halting the CG of Sharknado.
The stuff that takes a couple days to complete.
Yeah, and now for those, again, we were talking, if you're not familiar with Sharknado,
go do yourself a fucking favor.
So the Sharknado 2, they started filming like in February of last year. It aired on TV in July of last year.
Yes, yeah.
They started filming Sharknado 3, I think, also in February of this year.
Yeah.
With a release date of July of this year.
Yeah.
So they really squeezed, that's not even the right word, pinch these out. They pump these things out, literally, principal, post, everything, CG, and it's almost all CG because of the shark.
Yeah.
They squeeze these things out.
Locations.
Yeah.
And yeah.
They squeeze and market all these literally in about 4.5 months.
Yeah.
So for for the editors to go, the CG is on a hold right now.
Which is actually twice as long as the production or the shoot time on a Tyler Perry movie.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And it makes far less money.
That's also sad and true. Yeah.
Also true. And so
I was listening to that actually on the way down here today.
in a couple of weeks, we're gonna have one of my favorite people in the world. Her name is Maya Rosa. She's gonna come and she's gonna come hang out. She actually worked on the movie that came out recently, Chappie. She did visual effects on Chappie.
Oh, nice.
So it's really neat.
Wow.
And especially because we were talking to her. Chappie was coming up. Like Chappie came out this last week or so, or week prior. Up to last month, they were still working on the visuals.
Wow.
So they were ready for this release. They've been pumping it out and typing. And this is the reason sometimes if you're a discerned viewer, if you watch and you see a trailer of something that's going to happen, you can see that the trailer does change over time just a little bit.
Yeah.
because they're not done with it yet. So the fact that it takes so long for the last bit of the CG, it seems like it's a standard. But the only thing that's not a standard is the quality, where Sharknado is not as high value as Chappie.
I'm also guessing Chappie started their final post-production process about a year and change ago. So their CG rendering takes them, 8 hours for 1 minute of something of footage.
Oh, well, yeah, sure.
Whereas
sure.
I think Sharknado, when they say there's halting, so the Sharknado right now, they've been on strike for about 6 days.
Yeah.
That effectively, I think, will halt the CG production by about 14 minutes.
Yeah, right,
they're fine.
Right, yeah, they're fine.
They're fine.
Yeah. If something like this would happen in Chappie, then Chappie would probably not get released.
Yeah.
Or,
it would go to a Christmas release instead of July 1st release.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
Which in that time, you could do Sharknado 4. I mean, that's the difference.
I don't know why they're not just making it a TV series,
You never know. Hey, wishes do come true, right?
Do we want that wish to come true?
Yeah, I kind of do.
If only this monkey paw had a mouth. Tell me the truth, asshole.
I think the monkey paw needs a fin.
Yes.
Big old dorsal fin on the back.
The fin's a little dry. The fin's a little dry. It's a Simpsons reference. I don't know if you guys have heard of the series The Simpsons.
They were funny once.
They were funny, at least at one point. We run out of time for segment 3. Let's go ahead and take another break. And we'll come back and finish this thing out and have a good time with it.
Break.
There's your book.
Hey, welcome to the show, everybody.
Hell!
Yeah, segment 4, the toast segment.
Did we miss anything we wanted to cover? Or
Some honey drops in front of me.
are we still doing the long segment in the short toast? Well, I don't know.
Yeah, we did a
Okay.
little bit longer and then a little bit shorter, but
I missed last week. I'm just making sure
we're still doing that same thing.
all right.
But it is sometimes just so much fun to talk to friends, just
Yeah.
hang out with friends.
Just talk about stuff.
Talk about stuff, each other's bodies.
Always.
If we're going to talk about anything else, probably I would say it's because of Drunkcast as this happened, and I'm going to give a cheers to HBO for finally listening
to everything we've been
to
telling them.
everything we've been saying for a while. For their HBO Pro, HBO Live.
It's not Go. It's gonna be. Well, they're not sure yet. It's HBO something else though.
HBO Now.
HBO Net. That's right.
Oh,
Yeah, that sounds right.
yeah, something like that, which is great. It's only on Apple TV. I didn't see that.
No. I didn't see it was only on Apple TV. I saw it was they were partnering with Apple TV.
They're working with Apple TV to make it work.
I didn't see it was only though.
So the report says that finally,
No, in fact, I saw they were looking. They were going to do
They were gonna
Roku,
do
and stuff,
others.
but I think
Good.
Apple TV was the first one because it's Apple TV.
because it just makes sense. You already have HBO Go. HBO
Yeah.
Go allows you to stream stuff if you have an HBO subscription,
Well, look-
but you have to have a subscription to do it. And
so this is a standalone.
this is a standalone product for $15 a month where you can watch HBO
Yay.
on your mobile ready devices, and it's finally fucking time. God, thank you. Thank you, base God.
Yeah, it actually, and Travis, you're absolutely right. For those who are dear listeners, we have mentioned this on the show for years.
Yeah. It just makes fiscal sense.
Curious. Okay, so a couple of curious things about this. One, they're not quite sure as of today, March 7th, 8th. I don't know what today is. I lost time in Vegas. I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
know
when,
what day it is.
when Game of Thrones comes out, right?
Yeah. Well, as of today, March 7th. Let's call it the 7th.
Well, yeah, today's the 7th.
Yeah, they had not decided if it was going to be the same thing as HBO Go, which basically effectively allows you access to all HBO products, or if it's going to be something scaled back.
Sure.
What I saw was that HBO might just say fuck it and make it all. The rationale is that HBO Go is only through a cable provider, so
Right.
it still keeps friendly business relations with those cable providers.
Right.
But the other side of that is that apparently after all Time Warners and Comcast get their piece, HBO only gets about the same amount per money per prescriber anyway. So the $15 they want to charge per month is the same thing they're already getting anyway. So there's no incentive to not piss them off, basically. So
Well, the other side of the thing, the other most important thing for me is that I'm sure that HBO and its subsidiary, I still messed it up the second time too, but fuck it.
Skinemax. Yeah.
That was listening to this side of the show anyway. That they're also spending money. They're also lobbying. They're also, I'm sure, trying to fight piracy in any way they can by developing new technologies and et cetera. If anything, what we've been saying, and many other people who want HBO and this kind of product, just been saying, like, if you just give it to us, we won't steal it.
Yeah.
That would save money in trying to develop new ways of keeping people like so.
True,
Like,
yeah.
For example, like not to give my hat away or whatever. Actually, I'll keep it secret. I have a friend who sometimes likes to steal TV shows from different places.
It's crazy talk.
I know, it's crazy. But I went to look and see if I could find Tina Fey's new joint.
If he could find.
Well, no, I asked for him.
Oh, you asked him if he could find it. Okay.
The blank.
The Nelly Chronicles, that was called?
It's the
the something,
unflappable Kimmy Schmitz.
Yeah,
or something.
that sounds right. Yeah, Nelly Klemper is the actress.
Right. Oh, yes.
She's so gorgeous.
She's beautiful.
Yeah,
great in The Office. And so I went to go find it to download it, and I couldn't find it until my friend Ryan from Fort Worth said, "Oh yeah, well, it's all on Netflix." I was like, "Oh, that's why it's not available to steal, because everyone has access to it."
Yes, and there you go. So HBO.
That's where you're saving the money, is not having to worry about trying to develop a product that keeps you from stealing something. You just give it to them for cheap.
And HBO, their intent is to get this, if they can get all the bugs worked out and get it working the right way, get it out before the Game of Thrones premiere, because
which is weeks from
for
now.
2 years in a row, Game of Thrones has been the most pirated thing in the history of the internet.
Yes,
both years running.
Yes.
So for HBO to do this, brilliant. Like you said, it's
10 weeks for $15 is pretty fucking good.
Nothing else. I think people, we've had some debates on the show and even off hours, after hours, off air, about piracy, what it means to pay, steal, whatever.
Yeah, sure.
Game of Thrones is a thing that could change. I think this is a game changer. I really do. So HBO, if they can get it out in time.
Game of Thrones changer.
If HBO can get this thing out in time, which I know is their intent, they will capitalize on those people who want Game of Thrones, but maybe they don't want anything else.
Right.
So that customer will pay them effectively about $45, $60.
Yeah.
They'll get Game of Thrones, and then if they quit, they'll quit. But they'll pay for it because they can get instant access.
Instant access.
And they can stop stealing it. And this is the people who are out there trying to steal everything. And this solves...
I don't know those people, so...
But you're not... Well, your friend...
Yeah, that asshole.
Yeah, whatever. The point being, the past 2 years, Game of Thrones has been the most pirated show.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
So if nothing else, HBO positioning themselves this way will take a huge chunk of that away and put money in their pocket at the same time.
Yeah, it's just a win-win. I don't understand.
They'll satiate the people who just want to watch it and don't want to pay for anything. They'll satiate the people who are like, I'll pay $10 and I'll quit when I'm done.
Yeah.
It's brilliant, and it's about damn time, and we've been saying it for a long... We've been talking... We really have mentioned the show before. This is the wave of the future, and thank HBO for getting there first, man. Go for it. Good on you. I will probably drop all of my cable services because of HBO right now.
Here's a crazy thought. Do you think it has anything to do with the FCC regulation that made internet connection a utility? Do you think they were waiting for that shoe to drop to determine whether or not they're going to have to pay more in order to provide a service for only $15?
That is an excellent question, and I don't know the answer to that because Netflix has been surviving only paying $15.
Oh, but they've been surviving, but they've also been struggling, because they've increased prices, they've changed the way their model works in a couple different ways.
But that is a really good and probably very deep part of that conversation. That it has some reality to it. Which, of course, apparently there was Senator Senator Freedom.
There's 31, the Internet Freedom Act.
Yeah.
There's 31 Republicans who are about to sign a bill that will be vetoed. It's a stupid thing.
For one thing, because the FCC isn't a statutory thing. It's an independent organization.
Right.
So Congress can't necessarily pass a law, saying the FCC has to do this thing. So it's done to begin with.
Right.
Unless Congress wants to determine how all broadcast mediums are handled.
Oh, well, I mean, they're well equipped to do that, right? I mean, they all went to.
But the idea of a congressional,
to be a congressman,
I'm going to pass a law saying no. If you're going to do that for one, you have to do it for all, and that's never going to happen. That's one of the reasons why we have checks and balances.
That's why it's important as a utility, because you're actually looking at this thing like this is a good that should not be overtaxed. It shouldn't not overtaxed. Overtaxed in the energy spent in trying to make it work for other people. It's necessary now.
Yeah.
It fuels everything that we do.
Yeah, and the flip side of that is that ISPs, whoever they are, whatever shape and form they are, already have all the capacity in the world to charge premium products for premium service levels.
Yeah.
There's no need to make it a federal thing. The independent delivery service already does that thing. Maybe they can't throttle in the same way, but they can charge rates that make up for any bandwidth usage.
And then the crazy thing about the bandwidth usage comment, I'm pretty sure that Netflix doesn't just have an ultimate unlimited grande connection.
No,
Like
no, of
they
course not.
they probably
They
have
throttle the crap out of things.
somewhere between a T1 or higher, where they have to pay for data. So they're already paying a lot. For an ISP to say, well, I want to also charge the person who's using that so much, like, no, dude, we already know that data is not finite.
Yeah.
We know that it should be a utility if you're saying that it's an energy cost issue. Like, there's so many things.
Yeah.
It's like, God, just stop it.
Well,
like,
I-
Time Warner, 90%.
I can throw
profit
this out
margins.
there. I can throw this out there. So, my company, we do downloads of software,
Yeah.
which is about 35 megabyte product every time we download. You know, not small, but not huge either. But
Yeah, yeah.
there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Then we also have a video streaming product. So we actually do have the ability to stream HD video through your subscription service.
Right, right.
So we have Time Warner Business, which actually is a very separate company from Time Warner as far as the entertainment version.
Ooh, sure.
And we have data caps, and we have we don't have a throttled business model, but we have a certain range of how our business operates. That if we go over certain levels, the price we pay to deliver that data
Yeah.
is so insanely high, we're incentivized as a company to not do that.
Right, right.
Because, and actually, the part of that is also they know that spikes happen, so the way they do billing for that is actually kind of it's not really a consistent billing cycle. It's the way I know Time Warner is they take the highest, so in a 1 month billing cycle, they take the highest spike and cut it off to the lowest spike and cut that off.
Yeah.
And then they average out those things.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so if a company has a spike, that's we sent out 4 terabytes of data this month. We go, well, okay, well, that's 4 terabytes on one day. The rest of the days was 1 terabyte of data going out. So you're charged for 1 terabyte because
Right.
So there's already processes in place that regulate this thing. And again, this is why Republicans are retarded on this one. I'm sorry, on this one. The free market already has checks and balances in place to make this a fiscally responsible delivery system for content.
Yes.
And then the people who are delivering content have fiscally responsible methodologies for how they charge their people who they're providing
Yeah.
services for.
Yeah.
There's literally no reason to go any farther. The ultimate dream, the ultimate wet dream of Republicans, the market, the hand of the market, has already spoken. Has already done all this for you.
Yeah.
Let it go. Leave
Yeah.
it alone.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
done it because as a content provider, my company doesn't want to pay too much, but the people who I have to go through will charge me if I go over, and
Yeah.
they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We've already got this covered.
Yeah.
Net neutrality. I'm so glad it finally,
For fucking ever.
because
And honestly, if you're listening to this, if you're a person who doesn't really like, okay, I'm not gonna say.
well, for all of our UK listeners. So what happens is
No, if-
our government doesn't pay for this.
if you're listening to this and you don't really understand net neutrality, or if you think net neutrality is a bad thing, just go do a little bit of research, because honestly, there's so much obfuscation there.
Yeah.
That it's easy to develop a plan, especially the Internet Freedom Bill or whatever the fuck it's called.
It actually is the Internet Freedom Act.
Internet
Yeah.
Freedom Act. Because all you have to do is say freedom and job creation.
Yeah.
But
Freedom jobs.
There's like no job creation involved in this. I don't understand. Whatever. Go do some research, because I love you, but you're wrong. If you do not agree with net neutrality, I mean, if you live on a street and you had to pay more to drive down that street to get to work than someone else, then you were happy with net neutrality. If you're happy to do that, then do that.
That is the answer. So if you have a Buick, your neighbor has a Lexus.
Yeah.
Your neighbor at the Lexus gets to drive faster or has more access to your driveway than you do.
Yeah.
That's net neutrality.
Yeah.
That's them saying, because you have a Buick, well, you can go slower than they can.
Yeah.
You don't need to be at work on time.
Just look it up.
Yeah.
Figure it out. There's
Man.
a lot of really smart people who
We
do
went
this.
all over in those past 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, sure. 8 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. I want to thank you so much for listening to this episode of Drunk Guys Live. We had a great time doing it.
Yeah, we did.
It's fun to do it just with you
Aw.
once in a while, Dylan,
Aw.
because we complement each other so well. I think.
That's the vodka talking.
Well,
But my vodka talking.
Well, I mean, I was being sincere, and you're blaming the booze for it. So I take it all back.
Vegas-
I can't take it all back, because I just love him so much.
Man, Vegas changes a man. I told you 5 days is way too long.
Drinking 100 different kinds of booze, and just genetically, you're just a different person.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
That's the gourmet life. If you like the show, if you want to know more about the show, you can go to drunkcastlive.com. That's drunkcastlive.com. You can go to facebook.com/drunkcastlive. We're at drunkcastlive on Twitter. We are at drunkcastlivepix on Instagram. If you are 12 years old, we would love to hear your questions, or if you have a statement, or if you have a correction for anything we've said tonight, or even an argument. 412-440-7468. That's 412-440-SHOT. It's an easy phone call away from you being internet famous.
Or questions at
questions
Drunkcast
at Drunkcast Live.
Or put a comment on YouTube.
Yeah, you can go to YouTube.
Actually,
.com/Drunkcast
our
Live.
website has a comment section. You can comment
Yeah,
there too.
you can do anything you want. You can talk to us. You can engage with us, and it would be fun because I think we have fun doing the show.
We'd love to hear from you.
And we'd love to hear from you if you hate it or if you love it. Or if you are indifferent. Actually, if you just want to give us a call or leave a comment about the food that you're going to buy from the grocery store next week, we would just love to be a part of that.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, anything.
So what you're saying is, dear listener, call and just give us your grocery list. Just read off your grocery list.
Yes.
And we'll play that on the air.
Yes. No milk, though. I understand you have to buy milk. You creep.
Yeah.
But anyway, Dylan, thank you so much for helping me run the show.
I'm an anti-laxxer.
Yeah, you are an
Yeah.
anti-laxxer.
Yeah. Think about it.
And I'm Travis. And we hope to see you next week. Oh, we are going to try to do some South by stuff. It's going to be harder because in Austin, Texas, the South by, and also having to have a real job, sometimes they get in the way.
Yeah,
Next week is going to be interactive. I know for a fact that I will not get that Friday off.
But we'll be doing some stuff. We'll be meeting some people.
We will try to get as many people on the show that we haven't before. There's some guys who there's one Canadian who's going to be here of our favorite group, the Backburner Crew, and then one of our nerdcore and also fantastic fucking hip hop rapists, anal rapists, is going. He lives here now, and so I'm gonna get him on the show.
Cool.
Yeah, because
Looking forward to it.
Got to.
Yeah.
And then, of course, in a couple of weeks, I look forward to hearing from Maya because she's awesome. And
I want to plug a couple guys.
Laserface is her podcast.
I know that if you're here in Austin during South by Southwest, there are two great bands coming, friends of the show.
Yeah.
Although they've never been on the show. I'm calling you out, bastards.
Technically, you have to be on the show twice to be a friend of the show.
I'm calling him out.
Yeah.
But The Orange, great band out of Dallas, and then Telegraph Canyon, also out of Dallas.
I've been dying to meet those guys.
Yeah, but both couple great guys involved in those bands, and they're both going to be in Austin at South by on the Friday of the Music Festival, which I think is the 19th.
19th, I think is correct. Because today is the 7th, is 6 plus 7 plus 7.
It's the 20th.
20th, yeah.
But they'll be here on Friday on the 20th, and they'll be in Austin, and they're great freaking bands. They really are. They're awesome. So
check that out. And don't be stupid.
And on our website, we've done 19 different South by Southwest things. You can search for tags, and maybe I'll do a site if I get around to it and put a little page up. But we actually, we have past South by stuff. It's online.
We do excellent stuff. We really do. It's not just guys buffooning around.
Well, Adam's not here.
I mean, it is. I mean, even without Adam, it's just still buffooning around. But we care about this thing.
We do.
We care about what we do. We care about you, the person who does still listen to us. Persons, I guess. Peoples. And we'd like to involve you some more. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't believe I went a whole show without doing the
Counting Crows.
Counting Crows thing.
Man, well, that's what
the last
perfect way to end the show.
4 or 5 episodes of the show, we've got stuck with the thing, the Ray Romano thing.
Man, I still have the damn "Turn Down for Musk" song in my head.
yeah. We do that, and before the show, we literally were having a Counting Crows conflict where we were just talking about
a conflict of crows.
Yeah, conflict of crows, which will not come up. It won't come out this year, guys. Sorry, we're not going to see that novel. We didn't even talk about the fact that it's going to be different.
We have half hours for that.
We'll be back next week with the same thing that you love so much.
And maybe celebrities. Andrew WK.
Andrew WK, you're listening, I hope. Love you guys. Have a good night.
Drunkcast Live is a podcast that's recorded live around bars and drinks, but we do drink and podcast responsibly, and we hope you do too. Please come check out more about the show at drunkcastlive.com, and go to facebook.com/drunkcastlive or twitter.com/drunkcastlive.
I just don't, man. ScarJo looks like the last boss at the end of a bridge.